Clerics are conduits for divine magic. They can manifest miraculous effects granted to them by the gods they worship. Gods generally do not grant this power to just anyone who seek it, only to those chosen to fulfill a high calling. Their magic doesn't rely on study or training, but on devotion and intuitive sense of a deity's wishes. The cleric's primary ability is wisdom for their spells. For clerics that are a bit more melee focused, they will invest more into strength and constitution. The cleric's proficiencies are wisdom and charisma saving throws, light and medium armor, shield and simple weapons. Like druids, clerics are prepared casters. They can swap spells between combat encounters, so you are not forced to decide what spells to pick when leveling. You automatically get them. The type of spells the cleric gets access to is mostly supportive spells, some enemy debuffs also. They do not have so many offensive spells, unfortunately, but the ones they do get are pretty powerful. Guiding Bolt is a very strong single target spell, and Spirit Guardians, these are spirits that protect an area around the cleric, and enemies take 3d8 damage per turn, and reduced movement speed. Even on saving throws, enemies still take half the damage. On top of the basic spells all clerics get, depending on the domain, clerics get some extra domain-specific spells. These domain spells are automatically prepared, and they don't count against the amount of spells you can prepare each day. At level 2, clerics get Channel Divinity, which is the ability to channel divine energy directly from your deity, using that energy to fuel magical effects. All classes get Turn Undead at level 2, and another effect depending on the domain. You can use it once every short or long rest. At level 6, you get an extra charge of Channel Divinity, so then you can use it 2 times every short or long rest. I alluded earlier to the term domains. These are the cleric's subclasses. We currently have 3 available in early access. The other 4 will be available from launch, so 7 classes, or subclasses in total for the cleric. I will mention them now one by one, and what they are generally better at as a brief overview. First, the life clerics. They are better at healing and have proficiency with heavy armor. Light clerics. They make good spellcasters as they get good offensive spells, for example Fireball at level 5. Knowledge clerics. They excel more at skills and get some proficiencies in skills of their choosing, like Arcana, History, Nature, or Religion. War clerics are really good at martial fighting and get access to heavy armor and the martial weapon proficiency. Tempest clerics, they get some storm spells, and like war clerics, they are good at melee. They also get martial weapons and heavy armor, which makes them basically a frontline caster. Nature clerics, they are a bit like druids that can speak with animals, and they can hand out barskin buff and have more battlefield control options. Lastly, the trickery cleric, they specialize in illusion, charms, and more stealthy gameplay. In terms of multi-classing options, there are some examples. The fighter cleric for action surge to get an additional action once every short or long rest. The Paladin Cleric to get Divine Smite for some powerful damage. Given the incredible amount of customization into building a cleric and what domain you pick, the playstyle can feel drastically different between clerics. But all clerics on a base level are good healers and a good support class, since they all share those basic spells. But for example, with Tempest and War Clerics, you are more in the thick of it, and Life Clerics sidelining more with heals and buffs. Light Domain Clerics flinging offensive spells at enemies. The Nature Cleric hindering enemies with plant growth, and Knowledge Clerics passing more checks when out exploring the world. In Baldur's Gate 3, clerics get to choose the deity they worship at character creation, and this choice will allow for some different dialogue in-game. And this decision is up to you, the player, how you wish to roleplay your character. For example, a cleric devoted to Baal, the god of murder, is likely expected to murder in the name of its deity, compared then to a cleric of Ilmater, which will likely be helping the poor or those in need. I think Baldur's Gate 3 will not restrict us so much, even if it's thematically strange, because going off early access you can still be a live cleric that specializes at healing and be devoted to the god of murder. Larian generally wants to give us much freedom as possible, so I think role-playing wise we can come up with something creative why this could be the case. That's all for the cleric. Overall, a super solid choice, and you will never go wrong with taking a cleric with you or playing one yourself. Also, a quick shout out to the YouTube channel Jibun Fade, since he was so kind enough to allow me permission to use his footage for the Spirit Guardians. Check out his channel for more Baldur's Gate related content, link down below. I hope this video proved informative, and I wish you all a fantastic day. Like and subscribe for more to come. Bye.